Good one, Sony. Nice release. You really pushed the industry forward. I can't believe the new things we are seeing in this case. It's not a recycled camera that we've seen before. You're not reusing parts. It's not SonyRecycling.com. That's not where you go to buy this camera. There wasn't a meeting about it. Alright, fellas, it's recycling day here at Sony. We gotta reuse. Oh, look at the mess back there, Johnson. We gotta build a camera out of that mess. Do you have any ideas? Sir, we can't just build a new camera out of old parts. It would have to have old specs, and people would lose respect for Sony, the image we've created here. Let's make something new, something fun, something hip. That costs money, Johnson, you moron. How did you even get in here? Didn't I kill you in the last meeting? What the hell's your problem? We just rebuild. Look at all those parts. We gotta reuse them. That's cheap. Make a little vlogging cam. Vloggers are morons. You see, we want to be a vlogger. They don't want to go to school. They want to do anything. They eat cereal for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Okay, I guess we could make a cheaper Sony a6700 for the vloggers. They'll appreciate it. Being brought into the modern times for 4K 120p, HD 240, put a little IBIS in there, but smaller body, little heat sink in there, but a lightweight one. Made out of jade crystals, and I don't know, it'll sell. You knock that price down to 900. Vloggers, slow-mo, come on, that'll work. 4K 120p, that sounds more like an inaccurate rumor. If anything, we can do 4K 60, slight crop. It's like an A7S III, but like not even close. It's really light. It does overheat sometimes, but so what? We remove your HD 240. Did you need it? What were you gonna do with it? Come on, it'll be cheap and small. Vloggers will like it. No stape. None. Don't vloggers move, though? They walk and move. They talk and vlog. It's a walk and talk vlog, moving. They have to have stabilization. There's got to be some in there, right? You're not gonna repeat the same mistakes of the past where it's just digital with a huge crop. Come on, we learned from that. Wide angle lens, super stable, fun slow-mo modes. There's IBIS? Okay, hear me out, Johnson. We remove the IBIS. That makes the body lighter. Some say light cameras introduce micro jitters. Here's a theory. They're wrong, I bet. So we remove the IBIS. If there's some shakiness, which there could be, I'll give it to you, we'll add a slight 50% crop. And now with our new kit lens that's bundled with it, 24mm equiv becomes a measly 49mm. Then, little extra vlogging grip, we'll sell bone arm extensions. You vlog, your own arm is the thing that holds it. Who needs tripods? Just get a long arm. But won't the arm surgery cost more than if we had just put the IBIS in the camera? Boss, it doesn't have to be this way. Oh God. Oh, I should have learned how to aim this. God damn it.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
The only logical scenario I can even come up with as to why Sony released this camera is to mock me. I can't even see it. I'm looking, I'm searching, I'm like, why would they do this to me? There's no way they would keep doing the same thing, making a vlogging camera, vloggers walking, needing stabe, and removing the stabe, and then making a huge crop for that stabe. I feel like I'm gonna be locked up in an insane asylum just repeating the words like, how come they removed the stabilization? How come they took the slow-mo away? What happened? What the hell? Like, Sony X3000, perfect vlogging cam basically. I bought that thing, I was like, on paper, wow, that Boss stabilization, it's so good. Watched a bunch of reviews, I was like, that's gonna be way better than my Canon G7X, even though that had the bigger sensor and Canon color science. So I was like, okay, perfect.
Oh, little camera?
Yeah.
Oh, bullshit.
That's a little cam, isn't it cute?
How much did you pay for that?
Oh, it was like
450?
450
Yeah,
bucks.
it's expensive.
But how can you see? Oh, you can
You
see
can't, but it's such a wide angle that no matter what,
you can see through the little hole.
Let's upgrade it, because GoPro came out with the GoPro 7 that pretty much matched the Stabe, and then they were doing like slow-mo. Now we're up to the GoPro 15, and Sony has admitted defeat. We're never seeing an X4000. They went in a different direction. They made the RX0 with a super crop, and that's when it started. I was like, what do you mean? You had ultra wide, it was 17 mil on the X3000 with optical Stabe. And then you could do a slight active Stabe on top of it, 10% crop, and it evened out any little kink. It was perfect. And then they removed all Stabe and went with an even bigger crop. And I was like, what the hell is that? And the lens went from 17 to 24, and then add the digital crop, we're at like 35, and it was like almost a joke. And then we keep seeing that over and over again. ZV-1, huge crop. ZV Mark II, 1. Even bigger crop, removed the optical Stabe. And like, we continue it. It's Groundhog Day. I get punched in the gut every Wednesday at 4 p.m. And I'm sick of it. I'm gonna throw up on my attacker. By the way, yes, we are on it. The Nikon Z6 III, Voigtlander 58mm Tony 1.4 in RAW, 4K. RAW to rich tone portrait, by the way. That's allowed for some reason. I have a whole unboxing, a fun boxing video coming, and then a whole bunch of stuff. But this is skipping the line, and I was just like, what are we doing here? First of all, it was supposed to be a smaller vlogger version of the A6700. We were supposed to be getting the 4K 120, same exact specs, it's the same sensor, but some people make rumors that aren't true. It's almost as if they get their rumors by racing gerbils towards a cat, and whichever gerbil is eaten up first, you read the neck tag of the other one, guessing the specs, and you go with that one, the one that lived to tell his tales. You're inaccurate. So like, why do you... People who make videos about rumors, I do it. And I feel like a moron every time. I'm like, this freaking thing has a huge crop in 8-bit only on 240 frames per second. What's that all about? And it's not even true. We're just repeating morons. We're monkeys. By the way, Nikon, little side rant. So I get this camera. I'm like, this is fantastic. Raw wildlife. I'm gonna get an extra battery. Wait a second, small rig makes batteries for Nikon, and you can USB-C charge them. So I'm like, fantastic, can you send me some? I'll do a little review. I shilled out. I lost all my dignity. I was like, I'll review these for you. I just wanted them for free. Put them in my camera, and it says, no, we don't like that. Buy ours. You don't give me the charger. I could charge, these were so perfect on paper. I could just plug in my thing, same thing I use for my phone. So I could charge them anytime. And they don't work in the Z6 III because you cripple hammered it. You said no third-party batteries. So I'm so sorry, small rig, I let you down. They were so good on paper. They work on the ZF and all the others, but the Z6 III put in some algorithms. Now let's be real here. Say I go and buy this ZV-E10 Mark II. It's not bad. It's not a bad camera. I'm just nitpicking the flaws here. I could totally run my whole thing on the 11mm Tony 1.8, get a little tripod, slight crop on that 50% crop, but it would still be like a 24mm lens or something like that. I like that focal length for vlogging. Then I'm getting 4K 60. That's okay. But like, you took out my HD 240, so go to hell and just shake Satan's hand and ask him how much did it cost to go to the bank, huh? You don't sell your soul for the slow-mo. I don't get it. All your older cameras did it and it was fun, and you're just removing them one by one until you only have HD 120 left. Imagine that, we're getting something in 2035. Sony ZV-1 Mark IV HD 120. Remember that. I remember it. It was bad. But let's be real. Most APS-C cameras are a lower tiered, beginner-oriented segment, and the ZV-E10 Mark II destroys the Nikon Z30. It's not even close on that one if you look at the specs. Color science, that's another story. But like Canon, what are you doing? Like an R10, R100, like you're a joke. You have to go up to the R7 to even compete, and then it's like way more money, way more weight. So okay, for APS-C, a little budget option, you could get by. You could do a little Sony 15mm 1.4 for in here. Little maybe Sigma. You go with the Sigma and you forego the pop. You're not getting this kind of pop. But like you're sharp, even up here in the corner. You could do it. So it's just people like me who are looking forward to the advancements that should be coming one day, that are disappointed in these kinds of releases. Like nothing new happened. It's only old and actually worse than a lot of things we already had. Like the A6700 is not on my radar, but it's way better than this. And yet this comes out after and it's a little smaller, but it doesn't freaking run very long, and it has no IBIS, and a lot of things are missing from it. No slow-mo. So it's like, ouch. And when it comes to that kit lens, like what was designed different? It's the same exact optical formula, which is known to be the worst kit lens of our time. Sony's old kit lens was the worst. Fuji's was the best. Then they updated that and made it worse. But the old 18 to 55, 2.8 to 4, that was something special. Had no pop. It sucked. It's not a prime. But, like, what's different, man? Why did you even do that? Why isn't it like an updated 10 to 18 type of thing? Or like maybe a 4 to 8 because your stupid crops, and then maybe I can get to a 24mm lens one day. So this camera is mostly just, it reeks of recycled technology. They're just using old parts. See what we can squeeze out of that sensor for like the next 4 years. And the painful thing is we're still waiting for someone to beat the Sony a7S III specs. One day it might happen. You never know. The R5 II, maybe they'll do it. Who knows, but the Z6 III, you matched it in a lot of ways. That's fun. I don't mind sideways stepping like a crab off a cliff. And then I look at my bank account, there's $10,000 missing, and I'm like, well, we sideways stepped into the bank and we got robbed, and it sucked, but we're alive. There's a lot to be happy about. There could be. But it's better than a lot of the competition for the price. I could see myself recommending it to some lower tiered human beings, and they don't mind, they don't like nice things, they've never had like a really nice, ripe, organic mango in Thailand. They don't know. So like they go get their little chopped up can of mangoes and it's like, okay, this is a mango, huh? It's not a mango. So well done, Sony. I like the moves you're pushing towards the environment and cleaning up your warehouses and getting rid of all those old extra plastic parts and your little chips that were in a dungeon somewhere. And thank you. Thank you for cleaning up. And we're waiting for the next thing. Something fun. If you're curious, vloggers need stabilization. It's like the most important thing. So like maybe your IBIS sucks anyway, so I'm not even happy that you didn't put it in. Like just develop a better IBIS and make your digital stay just a 10% crop. Just a 10%, but really good. How come I can do 5% on Catalyst Browse and it's mind-blowing? It's fantastic. 5% crop. Do something like that. And no, I'm not doing that on your ZV-E10. Buy that and then have to wait. I'll wait outside your mom's room. Yeah, she'll let me in. So any day, son, we're waiting. You're the gifted child that doesn't try. It's really disappointing. If only you put forth some effort, you'd be like, holy cow, look at what he did. But we wait and we cry. So it is available, of course, through my affiliate links for you. You're not on this level. We're in raw here. It's not noisy in the shadows. You're ridiculous. This was a good purchase. I'm in focus. The green box, I can see it. You're crazy. I'll leave after you donate Bitcoin. Subscribe for more. I'm not saying that.